every single loss of all 4 losses this series have been Priest. And it comes down to right at the end, whose Priest sucks the least. As it's going to be Xerx's Cloning Gallery up against the, like you said, traditional control Mind Blast Priest from Fibonacci. And this can be a pretty weird matchup because though it is a mirror, the 2 decks function very differently. Yeah, they do. Yeah, I personally lean towards the Control Priest here because I kind of like Twilight Drake, which just can't really be killed by Dog up until late game. Because also as well, you look at Mass Hysteria, well, because Twilight Drake's so much health, it often kills anything it attacks anyway, or it attacks it, and it can survive. So it's all about Fib just being sort of minion-based, more of a mid-range / aggressive deck, and then finish them with the Anduin, the Alexstrasza, the Hero Powers, and the Mind Blast, of course. Because again, outside of very specifically the Spirit Lash with Malygos or Velen, Dog can't really heal that well. It normally heals by just taunts or your opponent going wide on board, but Fib can just push a couple of single minions. And it's looking like Fibonacci is going to be able to do that with this curve of Cleric into Ooze into Twilight Drake. If he can find himself Anduin in particular, I think, this could just be a beatdown from him. Also, a little bit scary as well is the very realistic chance that through Clone or through the Twilight Acolyte is that, yeah, Malygos or Velen can be stolen, and then guess what? I have Mind Blast too. Good so, you know, it's not something that happens every game, but Dog has to be aware of it because if Fib just steals Velen, well, do you remember those days where the Hero Power was free and you had Velen in your deck? Yeah, those will return for a little bit. And again, like double Holy Smite, Shadow Word Pain, and not really the cards you want for the late game, but they will defend just a little bit right now because Shadow Word Pain is not a usual suspect, I'd say, in this Priest deck. It's normally either that or death. As Dog faces that classic question with Xerx's Cloning Gallery Priest of, can I use my Holy Smites? Right. Do I use them now to save my health total and try and survive? Or do I use them later on just for burst damage to close out the game? He's been very hesitant to use any kind of removal up until now. Didn't want to Shadow Word Pain the Cleric because he's more afraid of damage to his face, I think, than card draw. Right. And also, it's not bad for Mass Hysterias either. You know, if you run into, you're not going to die in the first few turns this game. One thing I will note as well is the Spellstones are much less of a problem, unless you die that turn, obviously. But Fib has Psychic Scream too, so you know you trade a Spellstone for a Scream. Yes, Dog will get the better end of the stick in the long run, but Fib's plan is to not get to the long run, right? And then actually just finish up the game. And this is what I was saying earlier. You go into that turn 5, and it's like, well, cool. I end up with a 4/4 that I can then just heal and then hit you for 4. So Hysteria really has such a low impact in this specific matchup. Yeah, that is true. But at the same time, this is what Xerx's Cloning Gallery Priest is designed to do. It survives. It takes the hits early on, and then it still has Psychic Scream. It can then go for Cloning Gallery or Shadow Visions, whatever else it wants to do later on, and just heal back up. It recovers remarkably well. I do really like the Gargoyle here because it's a turn before it can be stolen by Cabal's Shadow Priest, and also the coin will help with getting to that Scream if needed next turn, or just the Shadow Essence then into Eternal Servitudes. Then you'll have 2 minions in the pool that you can res, so choose from either more coins or a big dude or something. So Gargoyle getting the work done. While Gargoyle is a nice addition to smooth out Dog's curve a little bit, Fibonacci is still just keeping on here with the pressure. You said it has to function as a mid-range deck, kind of as the beatdown in this matchup. Double Mind Blast, Alexstrasza for if the heal comes in. This is a huge amount of damage that Fib has. I'm a tiny bit surprised that the Grizzly wasn't played, because whenever you have Grizzly and Eternal Servitude in your hand, and you're against someone who's hitting you with minions, well, guess what? They have to get through the first, which wouldn't be too difficult, we can see. But then they have to get through the second, and then maybe the third with Spellstone. Yeah, a lot of good outcomes, though, there off this. There's the combo for later. Off of the Shadow Essence, though, we could have seen another Grizzly coming down. Oh, sorry, there's only one Grizzly in the deck. Yes. We could have seen Ziliax in particular. Like, it was just a 1 out of 4 to get Ziliax there or something. Like, it's very high to get these very powerful outcomes out of it. Okay, I was wondering where Fib was going to go here, because he could have gone Acolyte into the Velen to prepare to steal it,
and then pushed, prepare for the steal. Also, he's got double Mind Blast in hand. Like, that's just 10 from hand.
So
so scary leaving up a Velen though, right? Like the amount of heal they can do, I think you have to heal them up, especially as Dog has like 4 cards before the coin that just haven't been played. He hasn't played a single card from his mulligan, which means they're probably situational cards, which makes me think Spirit Lash.
Oh, this is tipping point now, and this is, you know, I talked right at the beginning here, it feels like this cloning priest has an enrage timer of just insane power level, and about turn 8, I would say, is when it can get going. It can do multiple things, especially when a Gargoyle has been played too.
Yeah, if Cloning Gallery can be found here for the Dog, you can get up to some pretty disgusting combos next turn, and that is exactly what we find. I imagine that this time around, it will be a little bit more impactful than in the first game, where it was kind of just his undoing almost, as he had to destroy his own board of 1/1s.
Fib is playing double Cabal Shadow Priest, so although Dog's seen one, he's not out of the woods in terms of a potential steal. So imagine that. He plays Clone, and then he runs into, say, Cabal Shadow Priest double Mind Blast dead. You'd be like, come on! I do like getting the Witchwood down. Get it down now. There's not much else you can do. And it gets it in the res pool, which might not sound too great, but you get beaten up by dragons and stuff, right? Like, it's just a good minion in the way.
I think the fact that it puts it into the res pool is the exact reason why he doesn't want to play it, because he wants to go on the aggressive. He realizes that in terms of actual minion pressure, it's not that much. It's only a 4/5 that we see here. It was another brilliant pickup there for Fibonacci. Turns up a little bit. But it's mainly spells that he needs to be afraid of, which means he just needs to win the game quickly. He needs to try and go for Xeric's Cloning Gallery and destroy his opponent, but Malagos being found off the top is absolutely miserable for Dog.
Well, that was my worry, to be honest, and why I was leaning towards Grizzly myself, is because there are no Mind Blasts in hand for Dog. So the double smites often don't get there, especially against Priest, who, you know, running Holy Fire, they can heal, so on.
Yeah.
So that was one of my worries, of just trying to delay a tiny bit, and it's just one more minion in the pool, I guess. But now, Fib with that steal is nice, because one, it negates a coin, which is huge for Dog this turn, or could have been huge. But also as well, that's just 10 damage. And there's Alex next turn. Fib can just put him to 5.
So in that case, does Dog Psychic Scream on this turn? Is that what he's forced to do, as miserable as it seems?
Oh, and then Alex just comes down. You're like, it's tough. There's a lot of damage and just not quite enough mana. Psychic Scream's going to come out, but there's potential now with the Twilight Acolyte still in hand that, well, that could just happen later, but in a more impactful way. And Fib's just, I imagine, slamming that Alex as quick as possible. Puts Dog to 15. Fib has 15 in hand that he can play next turn as well. So it's all going to be about the choices Dog makes this turn.
And the pickup of Cabal Shadow Priest off of the screen for Fib is huge as well. Steal the Velen, double Mind Blast. That's just game. So we see...
How do you even make a call?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Also as well, the even Witchwood Grizzly now with the health total it will be at, Holy Fire gets there, right? To go through.
He's going for it.
That's game, right?
That's just game.
That is just going to end it. He does get as much heal as possible, but unless I've missed something
Unless he can get something pretty disgusting happen with Lyra, that's his chance. He has to heal up to above 20 or silence his own Velen. If he'd silenced his own Velen, it would have kept him alive.
That's very true.
It seems insane to do that. And it would have to have been Cabal Shadow Priest drawn this turn. 2 draws for Cabal Shadow Priest.
You have to just put 2 in the deck, though. Oh, and this is going to be game. A slight smirk from Fib, as I'm pretty sure he sees it. Fib?
Fib.
Friend?
It is lethal, right?
That one takes that one, and then these 2 punch him in the face for a lot. Oh no. Fib missed lethal last game. Fib? Fib?
Oh my god, no!
What do you... Fib! There's already a 1-1!
He doesn't... Come on, he has to see it.
We played Velen not long ago in the Anduin Raza days.
10. 5 doubled is 10.
10
2
times 2
is 20.
Yeah, more than 60.
Wow.
Fib. Oh.
Oh my god.
Dog might have just been given a lifeline. And I honestly don't know what happened there, because whenever you have Mind Blast double Mind Blast Holy Wrath in hand, sorry, Holy Fire,
yeah,
you are counting your opponent's health every single turn, because sometimes you just kill them. I'm shocked. I've got nothing else for you. Rest is yours, Derek. I'm shocked because that's not even like the misplay last game, where he was always going to win.
Yeah,
he could lose now.
He could very
easily.
much lose now. Dog's healing up, man.
Fib needs to play more classes than Warrior, it seems.
Yeah, he's like, what is this damage to face that you speak of?
Does this gain me health? No, I won't play it. I mean, and now... Dog can almost always stay out of range.
Yep.
He has just a Velen on the board, and if Fib uses Holy...
Wait, he doesn't have a dragon!
Oh my
it's
God,
all
going
Fibonacci,
wrong!
What is happening?
First Fib missed lethal last turn, which looked straightforward. Now he just missed a key interaction for the second time in a row with Priest, and that might just give Dog a win, because honestly now, with Malygos just chilling and no way to beat it, because now Fib can't steal the Malygos.
He has to just scream again. He has to just get this out of the way or he's going to die.
And then what does he do, though?
Nothing!
Because Dog could just play Cloning Gallery and be like, ha-ha! Oh, my God. After playing very well with the Hunter game, I feel like Dog might have misstepped a few times too.
That Hunter game was gorgeous.
Fib just showing he can make it to, make the long game. He does the hard work and then can't finish the job in, I'll be completely honest, it might sound harsh, but simplistic fashion. That was not a complicated lethal. Last game was not a complicated lethal. I don't know anymore.
And this is what we see from a lot of very proficient players, where they tunnel vision too much on things that are not, they outthink themselves. Like,
I know Huntrace has said that before, where he said he just overthinks turns, because sometimes he pulls the craziest play out the back, you're like, that's sick, but then he starts looking for those plays, and sometimes simplicity is key. That's what I tell myself anyway, Darren.
It's true though, these, a lot of these players, they are so smart, and they see Hearthstone on such a deep level that they miss what's right in front of them.
Now, like I said, I don't really know what Fib can do. There's 3 Mind Blasts, but when are you ever pulling it off anymore?
Yeah.
Because the second you do any damage to face, Dog knows what you're doing, so he'll heal.
Yeah. And
that's just it, right? Because you would never throw damage to face without the backup against a healing class.
Here comes the Cloning Gallery yet again. I believe it's still getting, what, Lyra and Velen, like whatever other nonsense he wants to throw down. Oh, everything's been screamed back in as well. That's just going to be game.
Boom! Dog takes the win. Fib misstepping time and time again towards the end of the game. It was all sealed up, but somehow Dog takes the victory and even shakes the head. I think Dog knows, that was